My dream has always been to work in a hot dog truck, and recently I decided to try and finally make that happen. But it turns out that food trucks actually cost money, and I also don't want to get a gross real job making hot dogs for somebody else. So my only option is to use my game development experience to turn my dream job of working in a hot dog truck into a game, which is basically the same thing anyway, right? Step 1 to making my dream of working in a hot dog truck a reality is to make the Unity project. I just need to come up with a good professional name for the game. Step 2 is to have a hot dog truck. So I used Blender to create a pretty realistic hot dog truck. So I spent a little bit more time working on the hot dog truck, and now it actually looks like a hot dog truck. It's got a grill, a fridge, and lots of hot dog propaganda. And out here is the entire city that I decided to make. It took so long to make that my modeling improved to the point where the outer city looks way more realistic than the part of the city that you play in, but I think it's subtle enough that nobody should really notice. And you won't even be able to see the rest of the city anyway, because you'll be spending most of your time inside of the hot dog truck making hot dogs. Except, at the moment, there aren't any hot dogs in the game to make, which is why I created the low poly hot dog. A lot of thought went into this design, and I think it's pretty good. But the problem is that it doesn't really do anything. All I can do is look at it, which isn't actually that bad because it does look really good, but I do need to be able to turn it into an actual hot dog. And to do that, I created a pretty advanced interaction system that should let me pick up the low poly hot dog. So, the pickup part of the interaction system works great, but I haven't actually added the ability to drop anything yet, which is a small oversight. And other than that, the interaction system is pretty much perfect, as you can clearly see, but I should probably start working on that anyway. Editor, transition me. So I've spent some more time working on the interaction system, and now it is definitely working perfectly. As you can see, I can pick up and drop the low poly hot dog, which means that the low poly hot dog is no longer completely useless. Well, I mean, it still kind of is, because I can't do anything with it, but I can pick it up and kind of throw it a little bit. The main problem is that the low poly hot dog can't really do anything on its own, and as the wise Napoleon Bonaparte once said, men are moved by two levers, hot and dog. Put them together, you get a hot dog. So the problem right now is I only have the dog. To get the hot, I created a low poly hot dog bun. I decided to keep the art style consistent because the low poly hot dog just looks so good. And now, if you pick up either ingredient and put them together, you get a fully constructed low poly hot dog. Thank you, Napoleon, for your infinite wisdom. What's that, low poly hot dog? You think that everyone watching should subscribe? And if they don't, you're gonna consume their entire family? I guess you better subscribe then. The low poly hot dog has spoken. Now that I can create a fully constructed low poly hot dog, I have to share some bad news with you. So far, working on this game, I've grown attached to the low poly hot dog and the low poly hot dog bun. And even though I think they're great, they just don't fit the art style of the rest of the game, which is why I decided to create a high poly hot dog and a high poly hot dog bun. Well, high poly-ish. They're still pretty low poly, but that means it's now time to say goodbye to our beloved low poly hot dog ingredients. So let's all have a moment of silence to pay our respects. Editor, cue the sad music. Anyway, the hot dog creation system works great. Kind of. The hot dog is still completely raw, but more importantly, it's also completely plain. No toppings, just dog. So I added 3 sauces, ketchup, mayo, and mustard that you can apply to the hot dog, which means that it's now edible. Well, it might still kill you since it is still raw, so now you can also cook the hot dog on the grill. And that means that the hot dog making part of the game is done. Except for one small problem. I only have 1 sausage and 1 bun. And a game about selling a single hot dog doesn't really sound that interesting. So to solve this problem, I added the hot dog dealer. And he'll sell you some pretty high quality ingredients that you can use to make hot dogs. And when you buy them, I just wrote some pretty simple code to spawn them in so you can pick them up and take them to the hot dog truck. And I know what you're thinking. Rye, this code is so good. I wish I knew how to do that. If only there was some kind of service that could help me easily and effectively learn all of this stuff. Well, luckily for you, this video is sponsored by Brilliant. If you've been wanting to try game development but have been too intimidated by all of the coding and math to get started, Brilliant is a great solution. With thousands of interactive lessons in programming, math, science, data analysis, and AI that help you get smarter every day. When I first started to learn game development, I got stuck in tutorial hell. I could only add things to my game if there was a tutorial that would show me exactly how to do what I wanted, which is a pretty common experience for beginners in game development. I ended up being stuck in this loop for years years before I learned how to actually program by myself, and I really wish I had something like Brilliant to help get me out of that cycle. Brilliant gives you actual hands-on experience through their interactive lessons and lets you figure out how to solve problems yourself, which helps you learn faster and a lot more effectively than tutorials. And to really help you remember what you learn, Brilliant's courses are broken down into lots of small, accessible lessons that you can complete in only a few minutes, which helps you stay consistent and learn a little bit every single day, which makes a big difference when it comes to learning a new skill. Brilliant's programming course teaches you how to think like a programmer and approach complex problems in a practical way, which will make game development so much easier, and it's something that watching tutorials will never teach you. You can learn everything from the logic behind programming and Python programs, all the way to neural networks and AI, which are things that I don't even understand. And as you've seen, I'm pretty good at programming. And you can try Brilliant completely free for 30 days and get 20% off an annual subscription by visiting brilliant.org/rye or by scanning the QR code on screen. So make sure to head over and start your learning journey today. Okay, so I'll admit there is a problem with the hot dog dealer that I was ignoring. The ingredients he sells you come in boxes. And after a while, those boxes start to take up a lot of room in the hot dog truck, which can make it really hard to cook hot dogs in here. So I just added a dumpster that you can use to destroy the boxes. Just make sure you don't drop anything you actually need in there, because there is no way to get it back. And with the dumpster added, I think I can move on to adding the game's customers. I don't see any other issues that would need my attention, so I started by creating a customer model in Blender. And by that, I mean I slightly adjusted the model from my last game by adding hair and a mouth, which basically makes it a completely different model. And now the next thing to do is animate the customer. But I don't really want to do that myself. That sounds like a lot of work. So to save some time, I decided to use Mixamo. I just got to drag my model in and it'll perfectly and automatically rig it for animation. Okay, so bringing my model into Mixamo had a few problems, but that's fine. I can just bring the model back into Blender and make some slight adjustments to fix the problem. So it turns out that my model just kind of sucked. I had a bunch of overlapping faces because of the way I made the clothes, so I pretty much had a second character inside of the character model, and Mixamo just could not figure out how to animate it. But after fixing that, Mixamo was able to automatically rig my model, and all it took was days of work to figure out why it wasn't working. If I wanted to animate this myself, it would have taken hours. So I think I made the right choice using Mixamo. And now that the model is rigged, I can download all of the animations that I need, which means that I now have my very first customer. It's a good thing that I'm known for my great customer service skills. All right, sir, don't you worry. I'll get your hot dog made super quick. Okay, let me just take my wieners and I'll just dump them on the grill. Here you go, sir. Here's your hot dog. Sir, I made you your hot dog. Please take it. Please take your hot dog. All right, sir, what is it? You don't like my hot dogs? That's not very cool of you. Come here. Come here. You don't get to just not eat my hot dogs. That's incredibly rude of you. You know what? You're going to the dumpster. Yeah, how does it feel knowing you're about to die? So because of that clearly rude customer, I decided that I should probably have some way for a customer to actually order a hot dog so that they don't just stand there staring at me. It's a good thing I stayed calm and professional, thanks to my great customer service skills, because that situation really could have gotten out of hand. To prevent another incident, I created a new customer because the first one is still in the dumpster, and I started working on a very innovative and immersive ordering system that is definitely not inspired by the Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 food prep minigame L Chips. The system shows you which toppings the customer wants and how long you have to complete the order, which coincidentally might be the same exact system as the Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 food prep minigame L Chips. But I promise, I did not steal from the Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 food prep minigame L Chips. And once you've made the order, all you need to do to complete it is viciously attack them with your wiener. And unlike the previous stupid customer in the dumpster, this guy will actually take the hot dog. You'll also get a 1 to 5 star review, depending on how well you made the order. But there is still one thing missing. The point of this game is to experience working in a hot dog truck, but making hot dogs is only one part of that experience. The other, arguably better part of the experience is making money. But since I can't actually make money from selling virtual hot dogs, all I can do is simulate the experience of making money. So now, every time you complete an order, you'll make a little bit of money. And you can see how much you have on this very detailed cash register that I created. It's not the same as making real money, but it's close enough. But what do you spend your massive amount of wealth on, you might be wondering? Because right now, all you can do with it is buy some more ingredients from the hot dog dealer. Well, now, you can also buy some more ingredients from the cash register in the hot dog truck, which is now also a shop. They cost a bit more, but they're also higher quality, which will give you better reviews and more money per order. I also just want to say that I am very proud of the UI I made for this store. I even ended up updating the hot dog dealer with a dark mode version of the UI, which I think looks pretty good, and I spent quite a lot of time on it. But I definitely spent more time on the order UI because I put a lot of thought into that and didn't steal it from the Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 food prep minigame El Chips. And now, I think the order system is pretty much done. The only problem is that it currently only works with this single customer, and I've already given him like 50 hot dogs, so I'm not really sure how much more he can take. So, to try and fix that, I gave the customers some pretty advanced artificial intelligence so that they can spawn in and walk towards the hot dog truck. Oh, geez. What was that? I think there's another... Is there another customer? Oh god, what's going on out there? Guys, calm down, please, one at a time. So it seems like the AI might be a little bit too good. Instead of waiting their turn to get a hot dog, the customers are currently fighting to the death for the first spot in line, which is a little bit more extreme than what I was going for. So it's a good thing that I'm an expert at customer service. You know what? I don't appreciate this at all. You know what? Come with me. This is what you get for misbehaving at my hot dog truck. Come here, get in the dumpster. You can think about how to better behave at my hot dog truck in the dumpster. Get in there. Get in the dumpster. It's very hard to fit 6 people into a dumpster. Get in there. Oh my god, I can't get him in. Okay, you know what? Good enough. You guys better think about your actions and how to better behave at my hot dog truck. And now, the customers seem to be behaving and will wait in line for their turn to order a hot dog, thanks to my great customer service skills. And maybe some adjustments I made to the AI. It turns out I had the auto braking setting for the AI turned off, which apparently was contributing to the problem, but I think we can all agree that my customer service made the biggest difference. But now, I think I need to address a big problem that I've been avoiding, something that you probably haven't noticed at all because it's pretty subtle. All of the customers look the same. I think the whole animation situation made me not want to add any new customers, and I was kind of hoping that nobody would really notice if I only had one customer model, but I also don't want people to think that I'm a bad game developer for only having one character model, because that is not true. Technically, I have 2 character models. So to show that I like to put a lot of effort into my games, I created 4 new character models. Once I got to 3, I figured it was probably good enough, but I thought, you know what? I like a challenge. I think I could do 4, and I did. Which means that there are now a total of 5 character models in the entire game. 6 if you include the hot dog dealer. But I do have to admit something. You might notice that I didn't create any women customers. And, well, I did. They just, don't really look right. Probably because I've never actually seen one in person before, so I didn't really have a whole lot of reference to go off of. But I think the 5 characters I do have are more than enough variety. You can barely even tell that some of the customers are the same model. And now, the game is basically complete. You can make hot dogs, sell them to customers, and then buy more ingredients to make even more hot dogs. Which means that I have technically turned my dream job of working in a hot dog truck into a game. But here's the thing, it's a little bit boring. I mean, I love making hot dogs, but when I said I wanted to work in a hot dog truck, I was thinking it would be a little bit more exciting. The only interesting thing I've done so far is customer service. So now, all I need to do is make the game actually fun, which shouldn't be that hard, except for one pretty big problem. I have just learned that International Hot Dog Day is on July 16th, and it is currently July 12th. So if I want to release my hot dog game on International Hot Dog Day, I only have 4 days to finish it, and more importantly, actually make it fun. But luckily, I have some ideas that will definitely make this game more fun. And the first idea I have is rent. And to make it even more fun, I made it so that you need to pay every single day. Once the day ends, I made a cutscene where your landlord will call you to ask for your rent, and then you can see your money being slowly drained. And if you can afford rent, the game will start a new day and your rent will be a little bit higher. But if you can't pay your rent, your landlord will take your hot dog truck as collateral to make up for it, and the game is over. Pretty fun, right? But I think I could do even better. And you might be wondering, what could be more fun than paying rent? Paying taxes, which I definitely do, in case the government is listening. Once you've made more than $100, the tax collector has a chance to show up in line like a normal customer. But once he gets to the front of the line, you realize that he's not a normal customer because he's here to take 20% of your money. And you could say no, but that'll cause the day to immediately end and will trigger a new cutscene where you're arrested for felony tax evasion and ordered to pay a fine. And then after all that, you still need to pay your rent. So if you're going to evade your taxes, you need to have a lot of money, just like real life. But since you're probably not going to have that much money, it's better that you just pay your taxes, like I definitely do. And now, with rent and taxes, the game is definitely a lot more fun. And I was actually able to add all of this new stuff in only a couple of days. I even had enough time to add some upgrades to the game. And I didn't rush, because rushing leads to bugs. I was just able to finish early. So early that I decided to have one of my friends test the game. I'm pretty confident that the game is perfect, but I have so much time left that I might as well. But I really doubt that they're gonna find any problems. What are you doing?
New efficient way to transport
You're
goods.
not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. Oh wait, are the hot dogs not deleting? Are the hot dogs just like on the ground out there? That's not supposed to
No,
happen.
take this one.
Oh, the customers also.
No,
The customers don't leave.
I
Wait,
can't
can you go
win.
count? Can you go count how many people are there?
1, 2, 3, 4. There, it'll be 6 people because there are 6 hot dogs, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, can you test the gravity?
Gravity is stronger. I can't get up the stairs. Help! Help me, dude! Look at the throw.
Yeah, the gravity's very messed up. Oh, it's gone.
Look, another hot dog's just gone missing. I put 3 on here. I put another one. Dude, I gotta watch this one like a hawk. I can't let it.
The gravity's too strong.
Can I just hold this here?
Yeah, probably.
This game's awesome.
Okay, so there might be a few problems with the game, but I don't think any of them are that bad. And plus, I still have 2 days before International Hot Dog Day, so all I need to do is spend some time fixing all of the bugs to make the game playable, which shouldn't be a problem. First, I fixed the problem of customers not leaving. It turns out I literally just forgot to add the code to remove the customers. For some reason, I thought I had already done that, but I guess I just never left the hot dog truck to check it was working. I also fixed the problem where gravity would increase every day, and the problem where hot dogs wouldn't get destroyed. Again, I thought I already fixed this, but I literally just forgot to add the code to do it. And after many, many more hours of bug fixing, I was able to fix every issue that was found in testing. But was I able to finish the game before International Hot Dog Day? Yes, I actually ended up finishing the game an entire day early. So I gave the game to my loyal patrons for some more testing, and they found a few more bugs that I was able to fix. And if you too want to be able to test and play my games early, plus a bunch of other perks, my Patreon will be 50% off for the next week, so go check it out. But now, all I can really do is wait for International Hot Dog Day so that I can publish the game. And that one day of waiting gave me some time to think. Yeah, I did want to make this game to experience the joy of working in a hot dog truck, but I also wanted to make money from it. I thought that simulating the experience of making money would be enough for me, but I just don't think it was. And I just can't really see a way of fixing that with the time I have left. Well, there is one way. The game is published on itch.io, and the link is in the description, so go check it out. Caleb the Dev says it's the funniest game so far, so you better go download it. Please, I need the money.